We're just going to swap up for a little bit, just because we brought different things. And the point that Art made was they're miniatures and all the genera that we like. I'm not sure how many of y'all are familiar with Grammatophyllum scriptum. How big does it get?
Big.
Huge. In a very short period of time, you can go from seedling size pseudobulbs to pseudobulbs that are the size practically of a softball. This is Grammatophyllum scriptum, and the way the person that sold it to me said, dwarf. This is as big as the plant gets as far as the pseudobulbs go, and it's very precocious. This was just in a seedling tray a year ago, so, and it's blooming. So Mac had these, one of our popular vendors. I didn't see him with any of these on the last trip, but I think he'll probably bring some more. And this is one of Ray's containers that he made for me. This is Dendrobium tenuum, and I got it because it just looked weird. And I think most of y'all that know me, I like the small, unique things, not so much because I need the space, but it's just because I find them interesting. And that's what this guy does. I've not bloomed it yet. The grower I purchased it from said it is shy to bloom, but I do like the way, the growth habit. This is an epidendrum, which epidendrums, everything, all orchids used to be classed as epidendrums, just meaning it grows on wood. And that's part of the reason when you think about a plant growing on a tree limb, they're growing on top of the tree limb and they tend to spread out. And if you look at them in the wild, it may be growing more on a north or south side of that tree limb, which kind of tells you what kind of light that plant needs, as well as the amount of moisture. So when you're trying to do some research, see if you can't find a photograph of the plant in the wild and get an understanding of how it grows in nature. If you look at the April Orchids magazine, you'll see where they're growing 5 different miniatures in a 6-inch diameter glass globe in a terrarium. And this is one of the key features in that, this Pectina picta, which even this size, this had 5 spikes on it just a month or two ago. Here's an example of a miniature growing in the wild in Brazil, where the photo was taken by one of our recent speakers. But can you imagine how many of us walking through the woods would walk just right past this? I mean, you can't hardly even tell it's there. Well, that would be very much like what you would see with ghost orchids. No leaves, grows on a tree, and this one just finished blooming. I was hoping it still had a few flowers on it today, but it's nothing but roots. You put this on a tree like that, you won't even see the roots because they're going to be in the grooves in the bark. So it's amazing what some of these botanists that were commissioned to go around the world and find these things. I'm kind of jealous because they actually got paid to wander around and really do nothing. Hang out with the natives. There's another ghost orchid, same genus, Microcilia. This is just growing on a piece of cork. Some of y'all may have seen this bloom, and I brought it to a meeting. And if you want to, of course, there'll be time for everybody to look at these things. This is a very interesting one that I would encourage you to get in your collection, well, it's easy to grow. This is Epidendrum porpax, and it will, recently divided, and it will make a nice globe. It has a small, brownish green flower that I find attractive, but it gets regular water in my system. Then there's a couple of really bizarre things. This is Microterangius, and it has a long, relative to the plant size, 4 to 6 inch bloom spike. The plant doesn't grow very rapidly. This is probably too large of an amount even. Small cube would be plenty large enough, but it's a reliable bloomer. It'll take a little bit more light, but otherwise I grow it similarly to a Vanda. And then anything that's mounted, you want to be able to pump the water to it. This epidendrum it's similar to porpax, Epidendrum selectorianum. I knew the selector family sells tractors, and I knew them, and that's the reason why I bought it. But turned out that it grows pretty well. It's just on a chunk of bark. Phalaenopsis. There's the grocery store orchids, and then there's some cool Phalaenopsis. Phalaenopsis lobii. Cute flower. The lip kind of behaves like a bulbophyllum. Kind of just sit there and just vibrates like a little bug. This is another Phalaenopsis, Phalaenopsis japonica. I was hoping this would be open. This is small white, but it has kind of a spur to it, which is unique to Phalaenopsis. Art already showed this. This is in the Orangeus group. And a lot of the Orangeus types, they have this spur. They tend to be very fragrant at night. And this little guy here, and I like Orangeus. A lot of people don't, just because they don't have any. They're white, and Angraecums same way. They're all kind of related together, and these go to the extreme.